Hi, I'm Tom, and I've never seen the Titanic, but I have seen The Room at least 3 times.
And I'm Sean, and I think Forrest Gump is fine. There, I said it.
And this is Flix and Flops, the podcast where we watch movies, talk nonsense,
And pretend to know what we're doing.
grab your snacks, lower your expectations, and let's ruin some cinema together.
Because nothing says film analysis like two friends arguing over whether Nicolas Cage is a genius or just bored.
All right, and welcome back to another episode of Flix and Flops. I'm clearly all decked out for the holiday season. Sean and I saw one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies, probably my actually favorite Christmas movie. I don't think there's any other explanation needs to be said. It's Die Hard. I think I'm just going to come right out and say it. I think anyone that tells you it is not a Christmas movie is stupid. Hear me out. I see that you're like...
No, I agree with you. I'm not incredulous or anything. I think we're generally aligned, but like, give us your thesis statement on this. I'm really curious.
I've been fighting this good fight for a very, very long time. If you go to Google and you type in, like, what makes a Christmas movie, right? Like a holiday movie.
Because this is a regular Google request. Like, people are really like fucking
people need to
philosophizing. They're really waxing poetic about Christmas movies. Anyways, continue.
So you go and you type it in. What makes a Christmas movie? And it'll tell you, like, oh, it's about family. It takes place during Christmas time. And it also is about, like, love, redemption, like, get together, that kind of a thing. Those central themes.
Mm-hmm.
Die Hard has that in spades. It is Christmas time, like Christmas Eve. They're having the company holiday party. Why they're having it on Christmas Eve is beyond me. I would never, but they have it at Christmas Eve, so it's got all the decorations. You got all the little Santas. It's got Christmas music.
You got any Christmas music?
This is Christmas music.
It was December 24th on Hollis Avenue dark when I seen a man chilling with his dog at the park.
And it also has that central theme of love and redemption because he's fighting and killing all those terrorists and everyone for his wife that it looked like they weren't going to be together anymore. But he goes, her life is in danger. I am going to fight for her. By those metrics, it has everything that is accounted for in a Christmas movie. I rest my case.
Yeah, also, like, not for nothing, they also, like, it's not just, like, that it takes place in Christmas. They lean super hard and went into it. The whole fucking reason the movie even works is that, you know, I mean, he's been stuck being, you know, a New York cop. Guy finally gets a day off, presumably. Who the fuck knows? And, you know, he wants to be with his family, right? He wants to reunite it. They want to, like you said, he's fighting for her. And then it just so happens that instead of just emotionally fighting for her in front of some cocaine-addled idiot, he ends up fighting for her against a entire fucking army of... Okay, so okay, I was gonna call them terrorists, but even in the whole movie, you know, you get Alan Rickman being like, "Who said we were terrorists?" Which, like,
that is a solid Alan Rickman impression.
Thank you. Which is true because, like, they're kind of not. I mean, believe me, they invoke plenty of terror, but at the end of the day, they're just a bunch of fucking, like, violent bank robbers. Like, you know, except instead of going for, like, a regular vault, oh my god, I can't wait for how we get it for the technical aspects of this movie, because I remembered a lot of, like, the cat and mouse shit, but what I didn't remember until this rewatching of it is all the technical, like, fucking 80s nonsense they come up with for, like, how to pull off this heist, and, like, oh god.
Well, I mean, everyone's doing coke in this movie, so it's pure 80s. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I don't know what their business is, to be totally honest. When they're in Nakatomi Plaza, I don't know what they do. I think it's something salesy, but they're all just doing coke. And you have where it's like, in Holly McClane, Holly Gennaro in her office, you have Ellis doing coke, and they're like, John McClane walks in and calls him out, and he's like, "Oh, you missed a little spot right here, buddy." But like, I don't know what they're all doing and why they need to have this company holiday party. Christmas Eve, like I don't know why anyone was like, "Hey, I spend that time with my family." No, they're all like, "We must be here for the good of the company." Like,
Well, maybe the gimmick is that since it's a Japanese company and the Japanese are known for being workaholics, not to bring stereotypes into the equation, but this movie brings an absolute fuck ton of stereotypes into the equation, so I'm afraid I have to as well. Do forgive me, but like the fact that I mean, I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Christmas parties are a common thing. I mean, but on Christmas Eve, like on the day, it's usually I don't know, a couple days before. God forbid, maybe we just turn it into a whole holiday party. In between Christmas and New Year's. But Christmas Eve,
yeah,
what the fuck?
no one was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna skip out of the party." Everyone's like, "Well, I guess I gotta go."
Because the party's popping. Like it's not just like
The party is nuts.
I mean, how many people? I mean, I get like if there was like a small contingent, but like, god damn, you'd think the whole company's there. I mean, hey, all I'm gonna say is if I was like one of those like few employees that was like, you know what, I think I'm good. I'd be like watching the news, laughing my ass off, being like, well, I made the right call.
It's like the Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he's like, "Oh,
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
oh." If you're that employee and you decide to skip the party, you're like, "Honey, what's that on the TV?" And you're like, "Oh my god, that's my work." But like, the whole thing, it's such an easy premise to get behind too. Of like, it's very simple. That's what I like about this movie. Is you don't need to have this whole crazy thing. It's just like John McClane is going because he got invited to his wife's holiday party. Straightforward. Which, by the way, I said this to Sean when we're watching the movie. I have been on a plane in a minute, but every time I go on planes, I take my shoes off because this movie showed me that if you take your shoes off and you ball your feet into like fists, you gotta do that. Like, it helps you be not as stressed. I don't know if that actually works, but I do. I've been doing it for literally years. But that's an aside. Like, this movie has so many like little details that make sense, and then some that don't. But we'll get into that too in a little bit. But the whole idea that he just goes on the simple premise of being like, "Hey, things are not great with my wife and I, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna show her I care, that I love her." And then you have Alan Rickman and his band of just robbers show up. Fantastic. It's one of the best performances by Alan Rickman because he's just so good. Like, there aren't enough movies where villains are just like charismatic. They just seem like the everyday man. They don't have some evil monologue or anything like that. It's just like he's just there for money or bearer bonds, which I still don't know what a bearer bond is.
So a bearer bond is like basically it's like a bond that's issued to a corporation that's like basically it's not
Have you ever had a dream that you had you could do so?
it's almost like imagine you were given a bunch of checks, like, but instead of them being marked off to you and only you could use them, whoever hangs on to the bonds, or who is literally the bearer of the bonds, hence why they call them bearer bonds, can basically utilize them as, it's basically a tool for rich businessmen to like have assets but also remain anonymous.
I see not much has changed.
Honestly, like in modern day, it's pretty it's not so, I mean, even back then I don't know if it was like something you'd think about a lot, but then I mean for us nowadays it's like shit. Like I don't know, I honestly I don't really know how frequent I'm pretty sure they I remember I looked it up after this. I think they used to be a thing, but because technology and fraud improved so much, I'm pretty sure they stopped manufacturing them like in the 80s or 90s because like effectively, I mean, think about it, dude. It's like how like people can like have a shit ton of crypto anonymously,
I think we just
and like
transferred
get
to a
it.
better thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, also it's like, yeah. So there's your financial lesson.
You know what? Maybe that's just the pivot. Maybe we just totally give up on movie reviews and we just do financial lessons.
Like, yeah, I mean, hey, man, like we were both in a level 3 financial literacy class. I mean, clearly we're the most qualified people to tell you how to invest your money. I mean, like, why not? Tommy buys board games and Magic the Gathering cards. I'm a degenerate sports gambler. I mean, like, it's a match made in heaven, really.
There's no
So,
better way to spend your money.
no, truly not. But it's really interesting though, going back to Hans Gruber as a character. So one thing that I find really cool is that so Alan Rickman, Shakespearean trained, like Royal Shakespeare Company, like OG fucking stage actor. This was his first movie role ever, which you would never believe that. I mean, the guy had been acting for like probably 30, 40 years up to that point. I honestly forgot he was dead. I was so sad when I remembered he passed. Like, I think it's coming up on 10 years. I mean, my God, that guy would be
And we're old.
acting as a. Yeah. But it's also like the fact that he never had an Academy Award is insanity to me. Especially like right off the jump, his acting in this is great. Like I honestly think his performance as Hans Gruber literally like reinvented the action movie villain, so to speak, where like you pointed this out in the middle of it. Like he's not like aggressively douchey for no reason. He's not like a asshole. Like he only resorts to violence like when absolutely necessary. I mean, they didn't want to kill the um Takagi. Like they didn't want to kill like the boss. They wanted him to just give him the password. But I mean, like he had contingencies for everything. I mean, granted, like I think the lore they like touch on it for like not even 30 seconds, but I think they were in like a far left like um kind of like a far left German IRA type of deal, and they kind of like were like, well, we're not getting shit done in our country, so let's make a fuck ton of money. Basically, that's kind of the lore, but he's just a dynamic force, and something I thought was really cool when I was doing my research for this is that scene where he becomes the hostage and they like meet face to face.
Oh,
That's not in the original script. That was improvised because they found out that he could on set. They found out he could do a convincing American accent, which he can. Like holy shit, he like you would never in your life think he was. I mean, granted, he could do like a billion different accents, but um, yeah, that wasn't even in the script, and that is literally one of the most iconic scenes in the movie because like they have this whole back and forth on the radio, but like the way they finally meet is in this like really tense, really cool setup. Which like I mean that literally builds to the climax of the movie, and that was fucking improv. If you're not telling me Alan Rickman's the goat, I don't know what is.
I
Like,
mean, I didn't even know that, and it makes it so much better because the way he brings about the character of Hans Gruber is phenomenal. It's just like when him and John McClane finally meet face to face, I love how he builds up. He's like, "Oh, I've only shot a gun at my dad's ranch." Like, oh, he's playing everything like really cool and trying to be very calm about it. And especially
mm,
John McClane gives him the gun, and then he turns around, his back is to him. I love that whole scene where Hans tries to shoot McClane, but McClane knew it was him the entire time, so he emptied the gun before he gave it to him. And he's like, "Hans, I knew it was you." Like, I it's one of my favorite scenes. It's so good because especially just the way he casually lowers the gun down too. But like this movie does such a great job of trying to stay in a sense realistic, but then on the other side, it also goes completely out the window at the most random times. Like they make a point to tell you about a few times that it's like, oh, John McClane's not wearing shoes. So like He's not wearing any shoes. They have that whole thing when he kills the first like robber, where he tries to put his shoes on. And he's like, the only terrorist I kill here, of course, has shoes that are like the size of my sister's. They won't fit. So like they make a reference that he's not wearing shoes. And at one point, Hans and I think it was Klaus are trying to shoot him. And Hans goes, shoot the glass. Shoot the glass near him. It'll fall. It'll cut up his feet. He's not wearing shoes. And it's like, oh, okay. They really thought that through. But then at other points of the movie, it's like a full-grown man is hanging off of just a sling, like an arm sling, that's used to like carry around an MP5. So like, there's no way like the weight of this gun could support a fully grown man hanging for dear life in an elevator.
Oh, in the elevator? In the elevator shaft? Oh my god. Like
they set these things up where they're like, we're gonna be really intentional and realistic about this, but then also he has 8 sticks of dynamite. Or like he's got 4 bricks of C4 and blows up a huge portion of the building. Like it's so weird the things they chose to be unrealistic about. But like it's so mind-boggling because you're like, okay, they really paid attention to this. Like that makes sense. And they try to tell you that it's like he's picking glass out of his feet at one point. And he's like, oh, this really hurts. But then on the other side,
you see him like almost like he's like that's like one of his like most intimate like conversations with what's his name, the Al Powell, who's great in the second one too.
What a great name.
Reginald Vell Johnson. His last name is just Vell Johnson, one name. Who was also he was the dad on Family Matters, right? Carl Winslow, dude.
Yeah.
Legendary.
And he voices the principal in Invincible.
I had a family emergency, but I'm back now, and I promise
I know all about your family emergency, Mr. Grayson.
Principal Winslow?
Oh, shit. Good. Okay, wow. Good to know.
The more you know.
Yeah, but they're having like a really intimate conversation, but like in the middle of it, like he's fucking picking glass on his feet, and you can tell that like see the subtleties. So I know we just talked to death about how good Alan Rickman is in this movie, but like John McClane, I mean, I don't know if it's like his best role, because I mean Bruce Willis has been really fucking like he's had a lot of really good roles. I mean, I would argue probably his best role is it's definitely Butch. Yeah, Butch. I really like his performance, and I mean he's had so many good performances. But what I like a lot about John McClane is that he has a lot of like interesting, in addition to the wisecracks and all the other stuff, he has a lot of interesting subtleties to like his performance from like a body and facial perspective. Like in addition to like the wisecracks and whatnot, he's really acting out someone who's in like severe pain but is like pushing on, because like that whole scene where he's on the call, you could see him like about to like pass out from like blood loss basically while he's doing it, or just like from the pain, whatever it is. And yet like he just still has so much conviction while doing so, and speed. He does. It's no exaggeration that John McClane does fucking superhuman shit in this movie. I mean, let alone breaking the laws of physics with that gun thing. Like, I truly don't understand how he got away with what he did in this movie in so many ways.
I mean, the whole movie, like, I love that they will go off the rails with it, but I also love the way, like, the two-way radio between John McClane and Hans Gruber, that it's like they can have these conversations. And Argyle.
Don't forget about Argyle.
MVP Argyle just shows up and he's like, "Hey man, if your wife doesn't want to let you home, you can crash with me and we're gonna go to Vegas and have a great time." And then he just gets trapped. He's like, what am I gonna do here? He's calling up girls on his phone and he's like, hold on, I'll be leaving.
He's getting like shit faced in the back of the limo, like, yeah, baby, of course you'll still be there tonight. Yeah, like
Argyle's just living his best life while all the shit is going down. But like the conversations between McClane and when you're having them with Hans Gruber, phenomenal. I love that where it's like Gruber tries to give it to him where he's like, oh, you're just another American who watched too many Westerns and thinks he's so good, thinks he's another cowboy, huh? And then you'll have McClane kind of giving it back where he's like, not really. He doesn't really tell him who he is.
I love that line. He's like, "Yo, you're just another American who thinks he's John Wayne." He's like, "Oh, I was actually always partial to Roy Rogers." I'm
Yeah,
like, "Oh my
the
god, that's
back and
fucking
forth
awesome."
in it was so good. And also, more Christmas details. When he kills the first terrorist, he writes, "I have a machine gun, ho ho ho," on the sweatshirt. And I love the way Alan Rickman reads it too. When he sends him down the elevator, the door opens up and he checks out and he goes,
Now I have a machine gun.
Ho, ho, ho.
the look on his face too. He really just nailed that entire role, but it's such a great movie, even though it totally goes off the rails where like you're having this whole scene where McClane finally is trying to figure out where his wife is, right? All of the hostages have been moved up to the roof because the terrorists had this idea. They're gonna blow up the roof, and then it's gonna be like, "Whoa, where did everybody go?" And the terrorists get away, and they think they're dead. So to get everyone back in, he starts open firing on everyone. He's like, "Everyone get back in! I need to see my wife!" And just starts unloading into the sky. But like again, another Christmas reference in the movie when he's finally having that confrontation with Hans at the end of the movie. What does he see? Packing tape that's Christmas, and it's like, "I have a present for you," or whatever. And he duct tapes the gun to his back, which, as much as cool as it is, there's no way with how sweaty he was in that movie that tape would have stayed on his back.
Sweaty, bloody, like every body fluid was working against him. God, that tape, man, fucking A, I need some of that tape. Like,
I don't know how it stayed so perfectly. And also behind the back too, like trying to do that would be a nightmare. How do you do that where you're like, "All right, I think this is right," and then you're just kind of guessing?
you're like reverse hugging yourself almost to like do it. Like,
But it does make for like sometimes I excuse things in movies, and I kind of want to excuse that because it makes for such a great scene when he's going like this, and he's like, "All right, Hans, you win," and then just pulls the gun out from like rips it off of his back and kills Hans, and then Klaus too. Which you brought up a great point when we were watching this. Klaus is like this like classically trained dancer. Like,
oh yeah, oh my god, dude, he's
and you can kind of
so
see it
good.
like in some of the moves that he does. You can see how he has that kind of like training in him, that it's very effortless in the way that he'll like, it's like a swift kick, but it's not like a violent, it's more of like he has some training to him. And I think it's really cool to see that it's like he got to use that in a totally impractical sense for his character. But like the whole movie is just so good. It was from a time when it's like shut your brain off movies weren't really like a thing like they are now. Like now every movie's made for the TikTok generation.
Mm-hmm.
But this truly was one of those movies like you can kind of tune in and out. It might have been one of the first like shut your brain off movies, but I think a movie like this is needed every now and then because it's just like you don't need to have a super deep story. Sometimes you can just have it where it's like the action's good enough. It's going to get you through the movie. And the action is more than good enough in this. Like they find the right balance with like the witty one-liners and the action to try and figure out like what are they going to really do. And I think it just works well. A lot of the sequels don't really pay it off nearly as well, especially when you get further down the line and Bruce Willis gets older. And as a side note too, it is tragic what the movie industry did to him. Like later years, Bruce Willis, like the last like 10 years or whatever.
Oh yeah, they took advantage of his deterioration like really bad. Like he was in some fucking really shitty movies. Like,
Well, and they're just feeding him lines in an earpiece, and it's like, just let him be. Like seriously, there's clearly something going on, and they're like, it would be better if we just got every last penny out of him. And it's like these movies aren't going to make anything. By the way,
yeah, it's just like it's just God. It's like one thing that he got aphasia where like he started to lose his ability for language, but the fact he got that on top of frontotemporal dementia, I watched like a whole documentary about His second wife and honestly Demi Moore are both like a fucking great support system to the guy. I mean, he is God bless Bruce Willis, man. Truly a lot of great contributions to the arts in general. I beyond movies, I would say he really did it all. And I mean, he gave his all with John McClane. I mean, especially I mean, I have a lot of fun with some of the later Die Hards, but like it very much jumps the shark. I mean, the fifth one was horrible.
Yeah.
I hate the fifth. I hate the fifth one where he goes to Russia and his son is like Jai Courtney, who like I hate Jai Courtney, um, shitty actor. But I I don't know. I mean, he does some really cool stuff in this, but I will say I prefer this version of John McClane as opposed to John McClane, who in the fourth one, as much as I love Live Free or Die Hard, he kills Timothy Oliphant by. If you thought it was crazy enough that he tied a gun um, behind his back, he kills Timothy Oliphant by shooting him through his shoulder, and that's how he kills him to like win that movie. So I don't know. I think I'll take him hanging on an elevator shaft with the gunsling any day as opposed to that.
Well, this
But
movie,
no, I mean,
this movie also has the ridiculousness of the watch on Holly Gennaro too, or Holly McClane. Like, you have Hans.
watch?
Yeah, remember the end of
oh,
the movie.
watch.
So Holly McClane is hanging out the window, and she's like, "Oh my god, I need help." And after being
Yeah.
shot, John McClane looks, and there's Hans holding on to his wife's watch. So again, another thing where a grown man is like gripping death grip onto this woman's watch, and that's somehow supporting him. I'm like, her arm would have snapped because it's all the way outside of a building, and then he
Yeah,
still has time to like
that shit's
slowly get his pistol up.
That shit's got to be made out of like carbonite titanium. Like she's got to have like she's got to be doing like multiple wrist flexes a day, like 7,000 wrist flexes a day. Because like, how the fuck he? Oh god, that's like so implausible. But like, and that is a really iconic. That's like one of like the first really, as cheesy as it is to look at now. That scene of him falling off the tower is actually like one of the best early uses of like blue screen / green screen. Like
Yeah.
it's very impressive for '88. I'll give it that. But like, so I'm glad that that's how he dies. But at the same time, it's also kind of like, damn, that's a lot.
But then you also have that scene too of somehow Klaus survives all this at the very end. He survives getting shot, blown up, and thrown out of a building from like 80 floors up. And somehow Klaus stands up. He's like, I'm so angry. I'm going to kill you, McClane. And it's like, I looked over you when we were watching. I'm like, oh my God. It's literally, for people that like really like Star Wars, you've probably seen the like animated Clone Wars TV show. It's like having Darth Maul where he gets cut in half and everyone's like, oh, that guy's dead. It's like, no, he survived. He lived off of pure hate and hate alone, and now he's still alive. It felt like that, but it's so ridiculous when he just rises up from the rubble at the end of the movie. Like, that is the hardest part for me to wrap my head around, because I get that they're trying to do a whole thing of Al Powell is like trying to do a redemption thing where he talks about, oh, you know, I'm a cop, but I haven't pulled my gun on anybody ever since I accidentally killed a kid. And at the end of the movie, he pulls his gun out and he shoots Klaus to save everybody. To be like, oh, it's come full circle. He pulled his gun out and he's like a real cop again. Great. I feel like that's not really needed because it's so bizarre and just kind of like forced in there last minute. The movie would have been totally fine if you just ended it and like they all leave Nakatomi Plaza and John and his wife are perfectly fine and happy. Like, I feel like that would have been a better ending.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like it's one of those things where, like, I feel like John McClane, like, had enough redemption as it is, and, like, I mean, not that it's, like, not cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is pretty cool that, like, he gets his cool badass moment, too, after they, like, portray him like an absolute dingus for, like, pretty much, like, the whole movie, but I don't know, like so much happens in those last like 5 minutes. The whole like okay, we haven't even talked about like all the subplots because first of all, in addition to the FBI and cops being made to look like complete fucking morons, like the whole TV side plot with like the TV reporter and shit, like
That feels
why is
forced.
that? If it feels forced. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it leads to a funny scene when like Holly punches the guy out, but like I feel like that was a waste of like 8 minutes of footage or however much they wasted on it. Like I don't know. It's just like a lot of it really works. I mean, don't get me wrong. Tommy and I fucking love this movie. A lot of it really works, but what it doesn't work, and once you notice it doesn't work, is very, very hard to ignore.
Well, it's just like, what is the purpose of this, right? Like, you think about it, they
Yeah.
have that whole scene where they go in and they go to Holly McLean's house, and they're like, "Oh, we found out where his kids are, so we're gonna go interview the family." And they have the like, I get it, it's like clicking with me as I'm talking about it. I think part of it is to kind of tie it together that Hans finds out that Holly is married to John.
Oh
It's
my god, the picture
yeah,
that she shoved down earlier in the movie because she's like, God, he didn't call me. I'm upset.
yeah. She's like, he didn't call me.
And that's the only thing that's somehow saving her from like being connected to him. Like not for nothing. I mean, thank God Harry, the sleazy cocaine guy,
Oh
doesn't
no,
like blow it
Ellis.
for her.
His name is Ellis.
Ellis, whatever. Yeah, Ellis.
Because
Oh my God.
Ellis, by the way, like I sidetrack here, but Ellis, I kind of love the character because I love the way he walks in to when Hans is taking over Holly's office, and he's like, "Hans, baby, listen, I can help you out." And he's doing this whole like sleazy car salesman thing. I love it, especially because as John is being like, "Ellis, shut up, they're going to kill you." He's like, "No, you don't get it, you don't understand." Only to get his head blown off, and it's like, I just love the way he walks in, and he has that like shitting grin on his face, and he's like doing finger guns. It's so perfect, and it's so like quintessentially 80s. But like going back to the whole movie, like the whole TV side plot thing, it ties it in because they have that whole thing. They have the TV on, and when they're interviewing John McClane's kids, well, Holly can see it from where all the hostages are, and she's like, "Oh no!" And the person's like, "Oh, mommy, you need to come home." The kid's like, "Mom, mom, mom," and they're like, "Oh, we're with the McClane family." And at that point, I think Hans knows that his name is John McClane. So then he's like, "Why is this woman so concerned that this child is asking for the mom to come home?" And then he instinctively lifts up the photo that she slammed earlier, and he goes, but I love the way he's like, "Oh, Mrs. McClane, so nice to meet your acquaintance." Like he, Alan Rickman is unbelievable, and I can't believe that you actually said this is his first movie. That's insane because it's like,
Isn't that nuts?
at this point you would think that he had been in like 10 movies before that, because the way he just composes himself, everything about Hans as a villain is ideally what you want in a villain in a movie. It's like he's hateable, but he has motives, but at the same time, his motives are just money. At the end of the day, he preaches about being like this bigger thing, but it's a simple motive. He wants money. And I love the things he does, like when they kill Takagi, right? He's like, "Oh, we ruined, oh, it's a nice suit, it's all ruined." Like, you want a villain like that that's so evil and is so like does not care what happens. They're 10 steps ahead, but then they're also like, like he doesn't want violence, but he'll do it as a means to an end. Like, there just aren't enough well-written villains like that anymore. Every villain in a movie now is just kind of like don't get me wrong, I love Marvel and everything like that, but Thanos in the MCU is more of just like, well, there's a simple solution to this. Instead of cutting out half the population, double the resources. And he's like, "Nah, I won't do that." I think that having this and having it be like, he's a bad guy, but he has these like motives that it's like, it's just money at the end of the day. It's simple greed. It's an easy, well-written character. You don't need to make it any deeper than that. But I love the way that he kind of messes with the FBI too. But the FBI side plot is
Oh
like
my god, those guys are absolute morons.
it's just kind of ham-fisted, especially they make a Saigon reference. When one of them is like,
Yeah.
he's like, it's just like Saigon when they're in the chopper, and the guy's like, dude,
And the guy's like, I was in high school then, or whatever. I'm like, oh my god.
yeah, it's like, why are they talking about Saigon now? Like, what? It feels like it's such a disconnect, especially because when you first meet both FBI agents, they're not like that at all. They're very just like, this is Agent Johnson, and I'm also Agent Johnson. Like, that was okay.
I know you think they're like these big badasses at first, and it's just like, okay.
And then one of them turns out to be a frat bro and shows up with his hat backwards. He's like, this is just like Saigon. Like,
oh my god.
I feel like it could have done without that, but I get that they're trying. I feel like part of it is they're trying to play into the whole thing that, like, the FBI is so predictable. They're going to do it this way and that way. And Hans had already thought of that. He knew that they were going to try to cut the power. He knew this, knew that. Like, you know, I get it, but it just feels so weird to the rest of the movie.
Also, like, sometimes I feel like Hans is like almost like too smart. It's like, okay, this guy really prepared for like every fucking possible scenario.
Yeah,
It's like, are these guys just like that? Is he just that good, or are these guys just that stupid? Like, I can't really.
I think if you're writing a villain like this, you need to have. They need to be smart, obviously, like Hans is. And you need to have things kind of go their way, but almost too much goes his way. You know what I mean? It's just like,
oh yeah,
you need to have setbacks, and it feels like there wasn't enough setbacks for him. It's just more of like sometimes John would get in his way, but it wasn't ever like detrimental. Like when they brought a fucking rocket launcher and they blow up like an RV, like a police escort RV, when trying to ram the building. He's like, yeah, we're just gonna blow. We prepared for this. I'm like, there's no way you would have known that they were gonna bring in this very particular RV, and you also are going to carry like 6 rockets with your rocket launcher and blow them up into smithereens. Like things like that. Like I think you can predict like a breaching formation, like when the SWAT team comes in and they have this whole thing. They're like, all right, they're gonna start coming in. They're gonna cut the power. They're gonna do this. You can do that, but trying to expect that it's like, oh, they're gonna bring helicopters, but the helicopters really are actually just people with guns on the helicopters. They're not really transport helicopters. Like, it feels like he knew a little too much. So you need to have some more setbacks to it, and then make him not as like almost omniscient.
Nah, I feel you. Just, I mean, what more else is there to say? Truly a Christmas classic. I mean, shout outs to Theo, the tech specialist. I just wanted to mention him on.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about him this entire time.
I know. On how before we close it out, I did want to mention him because going back to having the power turned off, somehow we're supposed to believe that everything Hans did at some point was led to the power being turned off because he knew he was somehow able to figure it out, which, like, how the fuck he knew this much about the safe for the bearer bonds? Who knows? But
he rolled a nat 20 on perception, that's why.
Yeah, I guess so, truly. He knew that Theo could hack his way through almost all of the safeguards because he's super duper hacker man, and like, of course, like when they first roll into the building, like in addition to like setting up all the explosives and all the other cool stuff, of course Theo goes like like 80s, like, typing on the computer. But we're somehow supposed to believe that, okay, you knew Theo could get through the first 7 like gates or whatever, 7 firewalls, but that the 8th one was some, oh my god, it was like an electromagnetic, like blah blah blah, like there's no way he'd be able to do it. But of course, turning the power off is what killed that. Which also, it's like,
what a horrible
okay,
safeguard.
But also now I'm just realizing this right now. Okay, if all he had to do was like kill the power, like, are you telling me if he didn't kill, like, why did we have to deal with the first seven safeguards? Couldn't we just kill the power and turn all of them off? Who forgot?
I mean, honestly, you think about it, it starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
But this movie also does give one of the best like ways to say hi to somebody ever, which is the "Welcome to the party, pal." When John McClane
Oh my
throws
God.
the body
Throws the
outside the
body.
window, like that, you could use that in any situation: wedding, Christmas party, as it was, whatever holiday party, whatever. It doesn't matter, whatever situation you're going to. Welcome to the party, pal, is always an acceptable way to say hello to somebody. Or bring them into some sort of shit show that you're involving them in. Like, welcome to the party, pal. Like, also, Theo does this whole thing too, which, again, quintessential 80s. Every time someone's using a computer, it's always green text. And it's like, it has that weird, like, type font with it too. But I love when movies do that. It's like, someone hacking is just going like, they're just typing away and like, all right, I did it, and then they just throw out a bunch of gibberish. Yeah, they're like, all right, I'm hacking into the subterranean mainframe. All right, I got 8 more codes to go through. Okay, Q1 down. It's like, yeah, they're always like profusely sweating.
Like, damn, like it's some fucking like major physical activity. Like, okay.
They're like, it's the electromagnetic seal on the 7th turnstile. Obviously, you can't do that. And it's like, yeah, okay, like quintessential 80s. Like, you don't have people doing that in movies anymore because nobody knows what it means. But like at that time, when everyone's still getting used to computers, it's like, yeah, you can just make shit up and people are gonna believe you. But now, like, I do miss some of that. Like, we don't have that anymore of someone just being that kind of hacker guy. But like, he interjects at random times in the movies where I almost totally forgot about him. Like when they're blowing up that RV from the police, and he's like, and the quarterback is toast. It's like, he just chimes in at the most random times. And it's just like, what do you... I almost wanted to say, like, if I'm in that group, and I turn over, I'm like, what do you do here besides hack? Like, you're just the hacker. Why are you yapping away on this system here? On this, like, headset?
Yeah, in what world? Oh my God, I love when the guy they have replace the security guard they kill, like is like going back to the degenerate gambling. He's acting like, oh yeah, I got money on this game. Like some old ass fucking pulls out like a fucking small tube TV out of thin air to try and trick Al Powell, and it's like. Oh my God.
He's like, oh,
So
I got
many- so
50
many
bucks on the
things.
game. And it's like, he's like, yeah, I can believe that. Security guard, absolutely.
Some German dude just pulls off like the greatest Southern accent of all time. Like, okay, nice, dude.
Now, before we close it off here, completely well, still, actually, it's kind of related.
Okay.
Since this is a Christmas movie, what are your top 5 Christmas movies? And afterwards, I can think of ways to improve them.
The ways that okay, so you're asking me my top 5 favorite Christmas movies and how I think they could be improved.
Oh, no, just your top 5, and I'll tell you exactly how they can be improved afterwards.
Okay. All right, let's go Muppets Christmas Carol first. Are you gonna go movie by movie, or do I gonna go all of them at once?
Just do all of them at once.
Okay. Whichever one is the one, like The Year Without a Santa Claus, I think, with like Heat Miser and shit.
Oh, the like claymation one, right?
Yeah. Bad Santa.
Did you say Bad Santa?
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
Oh my god, I'm kind of judging you right now.
Why are you judging me? It's a funny movie.
All right, keep going.
Fuck
keep going.
you. Fuck you. I don't know. Like, I don't know. The Grinch, maybe.
The Jim
I
Carrey
don't know,
one
I
or
don't-
the cartoon?
No, let's go Jim Carrey one. Let's go with a classic.
That is good.
And then Polar Express. Or no, sorry, I'm gonna take one of those off. We'll do Home Alone. Home Alone and Polar Express. I don't care which one I'll take off. There you go. That's my top 6 movies. You know what? Fuck it. We'll take Bad Santa off and replace it with Polar Express. Happy? Okay. Tell me how you improve them.
Well, first of all, I can't believe Elf's not even on that list for you.
I'm not really I mean, like Elsa. I was never really obsessed with it. It's good. I get it. It's fun.
But I will tell you,
It's a fun movie.
the way that they can all be improved. Example: Muppets. The Muppets all go to a Christmas party at Nakatomi Plaza, and they have to stop a terrorist plot. Polar Express. The Polar Express takes them to Nakatomi Plaza, and the children have to stop a terrorist plot. Bad Santa. I haven't even seen Bad Santa. Whatever. This.
Whoa! You're fucking judging me. You haven't even seen it.
Well, because I saw it the other day. We were trying to find Shannon and I were trying to find a Christmas movie, and I went, "This looks like shit." And I said, "No, just the cover alone was enough to deter me." Okay,
You're an idiot.
No,
we're gonna. That's our next Christmas movie. A year from now, I'm forcing this guy to watch this fucking movie, and we'll come back to this, and he's gonna eat his words.
it looks like it's on the tier of Bad Moms to me. Like it's that kind of whole.
Oh my god, you're so off base. The sequel, sure, but you're so off base for the original one. Oh my god, continue.
Could you imagine if the Muppets Christmas movie instead of this movie, it's like Kermit going up in Nakatomi Plaza, and instead of Hans Gruber, it's like Animal.
Which, but imagine we still keep the Christmas Carol part of it, so
Yes.
the Ghost of Christmas Past, Christmas Future, they're like, oh my god.
Like the entire movie of Die Hard is replaced by Muppets, but it also still has the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future.
Instead of the gun rack holding him up, it's the Ghost of Christmas Future holding him up, being like, "I'll give you one last chance, John McCormick." Like fucking.
Okay.
Oh,
Like John McCormick. Okay, seriously, this is what needs to happen now. Now we need to make this movie.
Yippee Kermit, motherfucker!
And now you know what? It's just time. We're gonna make this movie, and then we'll get sued by Disney or whatever. It's gonna be great.
You know what? Why not? You know why not get into some legal litigation? I love a good journey, right?
And
Don't you?
It'll come after the sponsorship too. We'll just start making sponsorships. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, Poland Spring sponsorship, very nice. Diet Coke sponsorship, very nice. Well, I think this is a good natural place to end, and I will say, that we've had a nice string of good movies going, but unfortunately, the show is called Flix and Flops, and while we don't always necessarily seek out the flops, Tommy and I have made a pact that for the next episode, more likely than not, unless we somehow can't find a flop, which believe me, I don't think we'll have much trouble, but I think we're going to have to get back into a flop. So, I hope you enjoyed this holiday season of us seeing good movies. I know I did, especially, I might cherish it even more depending on what we watch, but prepare yourselves for a flop coming up.
Oh, I'm not ready.
No, me neither.
Well, that'll do it for this one. So thank you everyone for listening and watching too. But enjoy your holiday season.
Indeed. Don't forget to die hard.